gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Let's go.
Round one. Fight.
Thank you for tuning in to the Crypto Street Podcast. Here are your hosts, Killer Whale, Prince, and Crypto Dale.
And remember to tip your waitress.
What is happening, everybody? This is Dale. You're listening to Crypto Street Podcast. Thank you for listening, tuning in. We're hanging out. We're doing our thing. We are getting our asses kicked in fantasy football. We don't even care. Fantasy football is stupid. It's the biggest scam on the face of the earth. Prince, what's going on?
Scam football.
Scam football.
Yeah. Yeah, not much. Just scam football. I'm just over it, you know? It's like this season is just a nightmare. I'm out of a playoff spot again. Yeah, it's just I just feel like I'm just running into a wall. My guys they aren't performing. I don't know.
That's how I feel too. Like it's been hard to get ahead this season. It's like one step forward, two steps back. One step forward.
Like I'm ready to just sell the team and just move on. These guys.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah.
That's it's funny you say that because that's mirrors your trading philosophy. Cut your losses fast.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
It's true. It's like a deeper reflection of personality.
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
For anybody who doesn't know, all of us are 5-4 or 4-5.
Yep.
In the podcast league. We'll talk about that later. Guys, I need to address Killer. How are you quick before we get into this?
I'm doing well. Price is about the same where it was last time we recorded. So
we're recording on the 6th.
Yeah, not much happening there. I guess the biggest thing is our last recording was mainly about Deribit and what happened there. And
me getting bent over.
Yeah.
Which that all worked out, right?
Yeah, it all worked out. Actually, that night I got reimbursed everything, and I was super impressed because I was like kind of doing a rough calculation. I was like, okay, as long as they just give me this amount of Bitcoin back, I'll be happy. Sure, I'll be taking an L on the day, but I can make all this back in no time. And then, they actually gave me actually more than I was expecting off of my own little, shitty calculations, napkin kind of thing. So I don't know. It was probably correct. And
wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? So I was actually really, and it was quick. I wasn't expecting it until at least 24 hours later. But
you know what? Deribit is pretty good.
They got it dealt with before I went to bed, so I was pretty happy because it was it was a pain in the ass trying to manage the margin on all these positions after they had done that to me. So it was really nice that they had fucking done that.
Speaking of, I just want everyone to know, Prince and I probably talked how long today, Prince?
Oh, maybe
good couple hours.
Time flies.
I mean, not like
fun,
continually back and forth, but.
Dale's getting into options.
Bought some calls for March 27th.
There you go. He's got Dale. So Dale, you moved in on the 16K call, which I like. I like that choice. I've actually. So I don't usually like buying options. So buying premium, right? Usually I'm a net seller of options, but I've been a net buyer now for a little bit, and I've been hitting up those 16K calls on the March, and then I've been hitting up the 14K calls on the Decembers. And we'll see. I'm still selling a lot of premium too on the closer expiries, trying to offset that. But there's been some interesting action now. I always this is kind of like a fun little part. It's like, okay, what's going on some of the option action of Deribit, because it's like, okay, what are some of these guys doing? And someone now, there's block trading capabilities through Deribit, and so it's kind of interesting. Someone dropped 55 Bitcoin worth on 12K calls on the March expiries, and then on the 16K calls on the Marches. He bought something like 250 12K calls and 500 16K calls. And from what I'm seeing, they were straight up someone's just looking to buy based on the execution, volatility, and everything. So, yeah, there's been some interesting action going on, and I don't know. Like I like it. Like I'm, I'm bullish, right? So, and my view hasn't changed for the last, few weeks, months now. So yeah, getting some
It's
exposure.
exciting.
It's cool, right? Like, and it's fun now. You're kind of jumping into it all, and it can be a little overwhelming with all the different things to it. But it's cool. It's fun, right? Like, I think it's interesting now. Like Bitcoin's such a highly volatile product, so typically options are priced very, expensive. And these are expensive options in their own right. But when in regards to Bitcoin, volatility has actually been hit pretty hard, implied. So in, going back farther out, looking at like how these are priced right now, they're actually like in regards to Bitcoin pretty cheap right now. So, buying out of the money calls and all that stuff, it's not a bad play to be looking at if you actually, first off understand, how options are going to move and work on you, and that, if it doesn't hit the price, they will be worthless. But yeah, it's a cool time right now. So I've been buying up some of those and just be riding those for a while with no real intention of selling them until they get very close to expiry, or they just, hit expiry, and yeah.
And voila.
It's
I'm getting FOMO. I think I'm gonna pop on join you guys.
It's fun.
I like Dale getting into this now. It's cool, right? Like kind of talk about it with somebody.
Yeah, so that's what we did today. I have something I want to get off my chest, and I want your guys' opinion on this. Non-crypto related.
No.
What are your guys' thoughts on jeans?
I like them.
Maybe the greatest clothing item ever invented.
Thank you.
I'll go.
I think we're all in agreement. Okay.
Yeah.
Someone was trying to tell me, and I get it, the whole comfort level thing, but I think there's something that goes a long ways in having some self-pride and maybe looking good when you're out in public. Okay, like they were telling me when they go shopping for clothes, they'd rather just wear sweatpants and a sweatshirt. I'm like, no, man. I mean, I get it. Like, I totally kind of get it. But
I was just about to say, like, is this such and such? And then I was like, no, because then they'll hear about it, they'll listen, they'll get pissed at me, like, how dare you accuse me of being a slob? But yeah, that's pretty much. I feel like when you've reached that stage, like, I get it. You don't want to put on jeans, like,
But there's certainly something
free.
like you kind of feel how you dress a little bit. Like you can
exactly right.
club when you're
look
walking
good,
around.
feel good, wheel good. Right?
Yeah,
It's
not everything, but it's something. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
I think going back to jeans though, I now that you mentioned, I could write a thesis on this. I think they're stylish. They're also rugged.
Yeah,
pretty affordable. You almost never have to wash them. I mean, I don't think there's anything not to like.
I was just doing some shopping on the Lulu website, of course, Lululemon, an absolute fiend for their clothing. And
this is the most unlikely match.
Like I just absolute fiend for their clothing. I got some new pants coming. I ordered some of those ABC pants. I'm pretty they look nice. They're comfort. Yeah, the anti ball crushing pants.
Yeah,
crazy, right? Like
I've heard good things about these.
Yeah, I
real good things.
I'm excited.
Are these your first pair?
Yeah, I've never had a pair of these, the ABC stuff.
You gotta let me know. I've heard like weirdly good shit about these.
Yeah, I've
rave reviews.
People are getting me hyped, so we'll see what they're all about.
We'll have
coming in end of week. They're coming in.
I mean, if crypto thing doesn't work out for us, I think we could easily turn into a fashion podcast.
Fashion and food, right? And sports.
Pretty much, yeah.
All the above.
With those three, we could probably provide years upon years of content, I would imagine. Probably. We discussed all this shit ad nauseum, like in other chats, so we could just rehash all of that.
Yeah. So let's talk a little crypto here this last week or so. The big news. One of the big news was Bitmex email leak.
That was just rude on their part. Like, yeah. I'm sure, like, like I've got all the, like, said in past episodes how, like, when I first started, I just created a mass amount of accounts, right? Like any losing account was done. Never got used again. Create a new account, right?
Remember?
So
I know.
I'm going through a bunch of these fucking emails I got, and sure as shit, every single one of these emails has been leaked. It was involved in the leak. So now I got people emailing me with, like just these, it's like I can see you're trying to scam me right now. You're trying to get me to click on a link that I'm not supposed to click on. I can't even read what your name says. It's all Russian letters. It's like I know this, what this is about. And it's just like this is part of my life now. I have a whole bunch of emails that were part of that leak. Kind of just like, yeah, another day in the life of Prince. But it was
You
good.
almost
It
just
it made me
like want to get scammed and just like get it over with and be like, I feel like it's gonna happen at one point. Can we just get it on and move? It's like when you're a champion in like a sport and like the pressure's too much and you're kind of happy when you lose.
Well, I couldn't.
Prince and I got scammed for the record.
Yeah, I've already.
Yeah,
I've been
sorry,
scammed
I
already.
thought about that halfway through. I was like, oh, that happened pretty recently.
I'm done with that life. That was
done with
enough.
that life.
One time is enough.
One time's
of
good
that.
for me.
Wait, if you were trying to, what would you go about doing to expedite the scamming? Just put all your information on Twitter, probably.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
Too
just
easy though.
get it all out there. But although I'm pretty out there anyways, like I don't know, like anyone who's really paid attention probably knows who I am anyways. Like at one point when I first came on Twitter, I remember when I was first on crypto Twitter for a while actually, and I didn't have the followers I have now, but I really like my Abby was just me, like straight up me, like hey, what's up, camera? Yeah, like it was.
Hey, what's up, camera?
Yeah, I don't know, so it's whatever. But
that must have been before like you were even on our radar, because the one person I remember with you was the guy on the pig, right?
Yeah. I used to anybody who's known me in my account for a long time, which there's not many out there, but this was like before I had over 1,000 followers. But yeah, it's been an interesting week though for crypto derivatives, because so we had Deribit go down, completely just terrify a bunch of traders. And then, move forward a few hours, they reimburse everybody for the fuck up on their index calculations. Then I wake up.
Wait, time out. Meanwhile, Arthur is like trolling them about it.
Yeah. And everybody else on Twitter is too, right? It's just this whole shit fest about, Deribit is so bad. How would you ever shill a Deribit ref link? Idiots, right? This is all I'm seeing on my feed. A whole bunch of weird moral crusading that Deribit is garbage. It's like, shut up. Like,
why do people get so passionate about these things? By the way, like just
this is
quick aside, they're fucking exchanges.
It's like, crypto Twitter, right? Like, I think at the end of the day, a lot of crypto Twitter, like that is life. Going on Twitter and just stirring up the shit pot, right? But anyway, and then I wake up in the morning, and hey, guess what? Bitmex leaked all your fucking emails. It's like, and so I'm going through my emails. I'm like, oh yeah, email. Oh, okay, yeah, this is, and I'm seeing exactly what they did, where you can see everybody they sent it to, and yeah, that wasn't even 24 hours later, and then the moral crusade sure died down at that point.
Hey, what if
they allegedly fired the guy, right?
Yeah, so supposedly they fired someone, and on his way out, he like leaked it. But what if they fired this person because he was going to Deribit? So he thought, okay, you know what? As a last crusader for y'all messing with Deribit, I'm just gonna cause havoc.
Who knows, right?
It's possible. I want to buy into the conspiracy. I don't know if I do.
Some crypto platform sabotage going on.
Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah.
But then now, just this was just yesterday morning. I think it actually, it would have been probably just a little bit over 24 hours ago. CME has a big scam wick that none of the other spot exchanges had, and they ran it. It got ran down. I think below 85. The whole, the whole CME gap fill thing. It was funny because it got completely filled. I guess the circuit breakers got hit, and then popped right back up. So that was interesting to me to see that happen with CME contracts, because you like to think that, oh yeah, these guys are much more sophisticated exchange to work with, and then hey, we got shenanigans happening even there, right? So it's been quite the week for crypto and futures and just derivatives platforms.
And the Mex thing, like that's the sort of thing where it's not the biggest deal. It's not like anybody like right there lost money, but it's the sort of thing that should not happen if you have the right procedures in place.
That's just like a complete stupidity fuck up. Like, and so what was the deal? Like I heard, so their head of communications or whatever sent that out, fucked it up, got fired for completely messing up. And then as he was getting fired, he like took over their Twitter account and started posted like hacked and then withdraw all your Bitcoin last day. Like this was all like because he got fired, right? Like this is what I've heard. Just a
something like that. I got a question for you guys. Have you ever accidentally texted somebody and you were like talking about them and you meant to text like somebody else about them, but you actually texted them?
Yeah, so I had that happen. A few girls.
Okay, so one time my dad, was being just a complete asshole to me. And we were texting about something and I can't remember what. So I go to text my wife and I'm like, this was like, probably 8-9 years ago. And so she was my girlfriend at the time. So I go to text her, I go, holy shit, my dad is being a fucking asshole. And all of a sudden he texted me, I like get a message from him and he's like, think you sent this to the wrong person. And I'm like, oh shit. I just
such a dad response, by the way. It's like very civil, but like he's like
I know, I was like, oh my God.
Well, I'm thinking like this email thing was probably kind of like that. Like, can you imagine the feeling though? Like doing this at a big company, just like you hit send and you're like, oh no.
I remember one time when I was in high school still, I was like talking to this girl and then I was also talking to my buddy at the same time. and this girl, like, she was dumb.
She wants it.
No, she was just dumb, right? Like lacking some intelligence in some ways. Pretty good looking, but just dumb. And I remember I was like texting my buddy about this. Like, I was like, I really just don't even know what's going on here. I cannot communicate with this individual. Like, just the intelligence levels aren't matching up. Like, it's just not working. And I don't know, somehow I had been sending some of this stuff to her instead of Buddy. And then it was just, oh, God.
Oy, oy, oy.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
I got a funny version of this too, actually. I used to work with this guy and I was like basically his assistant. Like I would help him like take notes on like the meetings he would have with clients and shit. And one of the things I would do is like go over his notes and then like follow up with the clients afterwards, right? Based on the notes. And sometimes the notes were really lengthy that he would keep. And so what I would do is I would copy them and paste them into the open email and then like type the actual email above just so I could look at them quickly and reference them. And one of the things he had in the notes for one of these guys was like, guy was late yet again to the meeting. Like he's been late a ton of times, like really pissing me off. And so I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But so I keep typing and I hit send on the email before remembering to delete the notes below it. And so the client, like, like, this guy's always late. Like,
oh God,
it's the worst feeling. Anyway,
God, that is too funny.
I was thinking though, like if I ever had a job that entailed like me having to manage sending mass emails out, I'd probably fuck it up. I probably would. I'm not the guy you'd want for that. Yeah, I would mess something up. I would include something in the message that isn't supposed to be there, or I wouldn't trust myself at all. I'm not the guy for that life.
Well, hopefully you're not going to Bitmex anytime soon then.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just going scorched earth on the company like as you get let go for your mistake? I mean,
because I think about it all the time.
Stuff, but this guy, like, he screwed up and he still was like pissy on the way out. I'm
pretty
like,
ballsy move to do that, and especially when it's like Arthur that you're doing it to pretty
Not even
much.
ballsy. It's just dumb as shit.
Like you can pretty much guarantee the guy will never get a job probably in anything legit in this industry again, because Arthur will be like not happening. You know, it's like you kind of got to remember it's like it's a small industry. It's so niche, right? Everybody knows everybody, and it's a weird little way. So, you know, and you got a guy like Arthur. Like that's a guy who is like very connected into the whole workings and the flow, everything with crypto and you know this space. So yeah, if somebody do that, it's like, why the fuck? Like, what are you thinking? Just own your mistake and leave. Like, don't be a child. But you know, crypto, right? Lots of children.
Lots and
it's a
lots.
bad move. So we had that was like the big news of the weekend, and lucky for them, it happened on like a Saturday or a Friday night or something. I think.
I woke up and I had like a little heart attack when I really clued into what was going on, and all these random emails I have, all getting messages from Bitmex. I was like, fuck. I was like, okay, well, like let's make sure things are on lock here because this isn't good. It's like, so
yeah, it's I mean, I don't really know how you can prevent something like that from happening if it's a disgruntled employee, aside from, you know, like dual control to some extent maybe, but then at the same time, how are they able to function with their
well,
with their
yeah,
role?
like that's exactly it, right? Like I'm pretty sure this person was like the head of communications, some shit like that, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know, like you're pretty much expected to do this and not fuck up and not be an idiot. So yeah, it's crypto for you. This has been quite like the whole past week has been pretty crazy to me. I think, you know, yeah, it's just everything that's happening. It's just like, holy crap! Like, what's next? You know,
New all-time high.
I think we'll get it. I do think we'll get it.
I hope we get it by March 27th.
Oh, I think we'll have it by then. I think we'll have it by then, at least by then. But I think before then.
A month or two ago, I was saying that I thought we'll have a new all-time high by end of year. Not looking hot.
Here's
but
the thing, right?
Yeah.
When Bitcoin gets going, though, it just goes. Like it'll do nothing. It'll do nothing. It'll bore you to shit, and then all of a sudden, boom! It just moved 10% in like a 30-minute candle or something. You know, it's even that move that it had off of the lows there, around like 74 or so, and it just popped up hard, and then it ended up running all the way up to like 10.4K before coming down, and now
Happened in like a few hours.
Yeah, I was literally on the road driving in the city, and my phone's just blowing up with wrecked liquidation notices, and I'm looking, and it's like, oh, nice, shorts are getting liquidated. So, it's just this little grin, and you're like, all right, I'll just put the phone down. I'll keep driving. I don't need to know too much. And then, you actually look at it, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Right? Like, I feel like everybody's had a moment with that with Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at it on, I think it was like the 25th or something, October. It rose like, what, $1,700 in just one day, which, I mean, it's crazy, but so it can face.
And like, I don't know, there's a lot of, I think like it's been interesting to see a lot of sentiment there's been a lot of sentiment changing. That candle it had where it popped hard from those 74s or whatever when it was, and then, like people, it seems like, okay, like, hey, this seems pretty bullish, that candle. And I got to agree. It's like that's a pretty hardcore, like, kind of reversal candle. So you kind of got to take note when those happen. So, again, like I'm pretty bullish. I don't think anything changes. I think we're all bullish, right? Like I don't think anything really changes in that sense.
I don't think there's a reason not to be at this point.
Exactly. So
I think it's just a matter of when, not if. But I really hope that's not like a jinx that gets played.
Yeah.
On the line, but
it'll be interesting. We can kind of play it and we can watch. Okay, so we'll do like, maybe we can make this like a little case study here. Even these 16K calls on the March. So the March contracts that me and Dale have. So we'll see how these perform, and we'll kind of keep everyone posted and up to date. They're either going to be worth absolutely nothing, or they could be worth a lot. So we'll see.
Yeah, I may have to get in on these. Actually, I liked the rationale a couple of days ago, and I just pussyfooted around and didn't do it. But
yeah, it's a good time to at least take a chance, right? The risk reward and all of that seems worth it to me.
Kind of what I thought too, and reading up a little bit on it and talking with Prince, that I might be altering my view on crypto investing per se. But other than that, though, it's been kind of a slow week. The price action's kind of just been, but
yeah, it's been I think it's
it's just been
like a lot of I've seen now this kind of going around and people are talking about it, and it's kind of hard not to notice it if you're studied in it, I guess. And it's the whole Wyckoff accumulation setup, and so it looks pretty Wyckoff-y, right? Like anybody who kind of has studied all that market structure, the daily chart and all that stuff. Even I think you could say the 4-hour has a lot of resemblance to it all. So it's interesting, right? And like if it is, this is kind of the reaccumulation point. We could get that one last little dump down to test a previous resistance, turn it to support, which I would say what it would be like in those high 8Ks if that happened. And then if it the whole market structure plays out, then we're going to continue up higher. That's just Wyckoff-y, right? Like I don't know, I like to take many things and just kind of put them all together and see, okay, well, what are we looking at here? But I think even on a more simplistic view, prices up from where we were when the last quarterly future expired and we came onto this current one. So like where the price is higher. So in a very simple view, the trend is up right now for this contract this quarter. So
yeah, I would agree too. I think I'm currently short right now on the short term. I would like to see that 89 range hold up for a bounce up or for support there, and then I think we could slingshot off of that. Sorry, Nomad, I know you're going to be pissed, but
I think if we're like to hit, you say 89, I was like, if we are going to go down and just kind of test, I would see like at the lowest probably about 87, but that 87, 88 range would kind of be what I would be looking at. But again, I'd rather us just not go down there and let's just go up, right? Like,
yeah, we could just consolidate here. That would be very nice.
Yeah, I think in general though, it's just like these moves lower, these fluctuations, all that. It's just don't get too wrapped up in them right now because still at the start of it all. So
it's just patience time. I think it's just
exactly.
Dog had a tweet. He's very bullish a lot of the time, but it was basically just now is the time to get your positions and just sit on your hands. And I think that's pretty accurate right now. Don't try to do too much. Don't blow anything up. Not too much leverage, but just kind of be patient. I think good things are in the not too distant future.
Yeah, I would echo that too, especially with the not so distant future thing. And the short that I have open is nothing sizable. More so me being bored until
he's surfing the market right now.
Yeah, I'm like that single dude at the dance, just trying to find a home.
There we go. That's a great one.
But I don't know. I don't hold a lot of alts. I don't.
There's been some action going on.
There has. You know what? Yeah. That's another thing we could talk about, and I don't know much about it. So I was just seeing rumblings yesterday that XML did that coin burn.
Stellar did that huge coin burn.
Like 50. Was it 50 billion?
It was like pretty much half their supply or something.
Right?
Yeah. Something like that. And then Tezos is having a really good
Are you guys looking at that right now? Like,
I got
It's going crazy right now.
yeah, I've been watching it the past like 10 minutes actually.
Yeah. So
Um,
Alts got life. They're I don't know, Alts are back for now.
oh,
I don't know. But at the same time, I'm looking at the index swaps that FTX has. So like the alt perp, the mid cap perp, and then the shit perp.
shit.
Yeah, the shit coin perp. And you know what? At the same time, these aren't really doing a lot. They're actually they're just around like down 1%. So I don't know. I guess nothing.
Well, there's no like correlation. It's like sporadic, like
it's just
something pop here, something pop there.
Yeah, that seems to be what's going on right now. It's not a whole kind of, I don't know, shitcoin wide thing at the moment, but
this is how it starts. We talked about this a few weeks ago, or maybe like 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, and this is how it starts. You see these things where people make some little bit of quiche on them, and that gets rolled into other things. And
there was a coin that was up like 7,000% the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I don't know what it was on, like it was on like just air for volume, but still, right? Those are the kind of things where people see that on CoinMarketCap or whatever they're using, and they're like, "Holy crap, what's going on?" Right? And that, like you said, Killer, it's these little sporadic things, right? It kind of gets the animal senses back, It gets what's
exactly
alts.
One thing I want to ask you guys. One question I feel that I get asked quite often from people from 2018. They always say, "Hey, what do you think when the next alt season or the next bull run comes? Do you think it's going to be similar to 2017, or do you think it's going to be totally different as far as gains goes? What's your guys' take on that?"
I think it'll be different. I've thought it'll be different for a while though. But I don't know. Like, I feel like it'll be different, but will it be different? That's the question, right? Like, to me, I think there's going to be more to be had with focusing on trading Bitcoin. But at the same time, I can't realistically, confidently say that, even because I know it's like when alts suck like all the time, it seems, but when they get going, it's like, sit back and look out because your face is going to get melted off of the moves, right? So it's like you can't discount alts, but at the same time, when it comes to, I don't know, just consistency maybe is the word. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for here, but to me, there's more to be had with being able to ride Bitcoin and trade Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean alts are forever shit, right? Like, there's always going to be some alts popping off hard, and I think Link is an interesting one to me. I don't really know much about Link, but I see the crowd behind it.
The Marines?
The Link Marines. Those are some intense individuals, and there's some about that coin where it's like, there's always like, say, like what Ethereum did in the last, in 17, how it ran so hard, right? To me, there's always going to be a few coins that will do that regardless. And I feel like Link is going to be one of those coins.
What?
I get this feeling.
What does it do? I don't know.
I don't know.
What does it do? Like, what's the purpose?
Like,
I guess what's the purpose of any of them? But
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. What's the purpose of any of these altcoins? But I don't really know what it does. I don't know anything about it fundamentally, but I see the activity around it. It's got that same vibe as like even Ripple, right? Where it's like,
it does. You're right.
Die hard believers, right? But Link is a lot newer to the market. It's so, yeah. That's an interesting one to watch for me. I always got Link. Out of all the alts I watch Link the most.
Okay,
Link
so
and ETH.
On their website, it says your smart contracts connected to real-world data, events, and payments. The Chainlink network provides reliable, tamper-proof inputs and outputs for complex smart contracts on any blockchain.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I've heard this story probably.
Yeah, heard that
8,000 times. So I'm gonna say
project.
Yeah.
just another altcoin. But
I've heard like that exact tagline, like probably 30
I still,
times.
Tezos is another one that I think will perform very well.
I do too.
Yeah,
Bullish as hell.
I think Tezos, because Tezos
Well-
doesn't really have a market history. We'll say it was
Hey.
never around for a bull
Exactly.
cycle.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean?
That's right.
So I think
Hasn't
Tezos
had
is
it yet.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a theory sparked many moons ago that it would start the next run. And
And it refreshed my mind. Who said that?
to be honest, I think was it you?
No, I think it was all of us.
I
agree.
think we all said it at some point.
Yeah. I honestly, it was so long ago. I really didn't remember. I wasn't trying to be cheeky. I didn't remember who said it. But I mean,
It was
I-
us.
yeah.
look at it now.
Well, yeah, who knows? I am fairly like I think Link and Tezos. It's like, okay, let's watch with how these perform, because those are the ones that they have my attention for anyways.
The
for alts.
bellwethers, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's perfect.
On that note, should we touch on some standings here?
Yeah, so we'll as always, we'll touch on fantasy football first. In the Block Party League, which is my league, Block Party leverages digital identity, blockchain, and smart contract technology to bring transparency, security, and fairness to the ticketing process for event creators and attendees. Check them out at goblockparty.com. Shooter is in the lead. He's 8-1. He just lost for the first time last week in a close matchup to BitSquat, who is in second place at 6-2. After this W that I picked up last week, it was a close battle with Yoko. We both had people going on Monday night, and I think I ended up beating him by like 3 points. But so now I am the 6th seed as of this last week in the playoffs. And for the record, I am the only one out of us three that is, if the season were to end today, I would be in the playoffs. No big deal. I mean, who's keeping track, right? I think this is the first time all year that I've actually been.
Well, look, we only got three regular season games left, in this.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe 4, but 3 or 4.
Is what?
So
It's
Yeah.
12 weeks,
crazy.
right?
Better get on it.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to be over, though. This season has pissed me off.
This has been a tough one.
Too.
It's been a tough
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
In Wales League, which is Ardor, it's a platform for businesses and developers that provides quick, easy, cost-effective, and scalable ways to use the blockchain. Check them out, ardorplatform.org. Dynasty 13 and our homeboy Ledger are both tied at 7-2. Well, you want to give a little update on yourself?
Solid effort from the guys this week. Won my matchup, thank goodness, but I am still 4-5 only. Some top performers from this week, if I could bring it up. No. Forget it. I can't bring it up. But,
Forget it.
Yeah, let's just
I
say
don't
I
even
didn't say
remember
that.
who. But I got the W.
That's all that matters. And finally, in the OhioBitcoin.com Princess League, OhioBitcoin.com is a crypto market capitalization pricing index website. It's got the same tools as all the other pricing indexes with real-time price data. GTmetrics.com gave them an A. Check them out at OhioBitcoin.com. Mike Hawk is 7-2.
Every time.
It makes
Got a good team.
Listening.
Got a good team.
This was probably his dream when he made the name,
Oh, yeah.
Outs on air.
You know what? To be completely honest, every time I say that, you guys laugh, and this is the first week that I actually got it. Well, from now on, I will say Mr. Hawk.
No. Yeah.
I had a big win though.
Yeah,
this
Prince,
week.
update us.
Yeah, I'm 4-5 now. I was 3-5. I beat kind of just bottom barrel team in the league, which was
Doesn't
needed.
matter.
Exactly right. You got to beat the weak ones. I got another weak one coming up, and this could get me to 500. I need that 500. So I've been writing letters out, just kind of sending them off, mailing them to my team, just nice private letters.
It's very personal.
Yeah, getting personal, and I'm just telling them, like, just be better. Stop giving me a headache. I'm losing all my hair watching you guys.
Just be better.
Yeah, just be better. Like, I'm sick.
It's not that hard of a concept. Just play better than you are. I mean,
exactly. Like, I'm actually like I'm behind a buddy right now in my own division who started the year. He was like, I think he started like 0-3 or 0-4 or something. and he is now like 5-4. And he is ahead of me now. And the amount of fucking chirping I did to this guy through the first few weeks, it's coming back to bite me in the ass. It's coming back. And there was a lot of potential trades with this individual, and he dragged his feet, and he could have taken advantage of me a few times because I almost got Antonio Brown, when he was actually playing. There was a few guys. And so AB was one of the main ones, though. And so it's kind of interesting now, but he's coming back to kind of kick me in the ass and haunt me a bit.
Is this Steezy?
No, he's in the other. He's actually doing really good. He's in the other division. Yeah, he's in the other division, though. So he's got a good team.
Yeah. All right, so that's that. Remember, everyone's playing for each league winner gets.
We're playing for Tezos.
Yeah, playing for Tezos. We match up the final 2 weeks of the season for an overall winner. They're playing for the Zelcore Championship. Zelcore and Zel, the only blockchain and cryptocurrency platform you need. Hold over 20,000 assets in one location. Trade seamlessly with Zelcore Plus. Check them out at Zel.network. Now the thing that everyone is dying to hear. I'm going to be
sure this is updated as of like the last minute too.
I just updated it 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Big difference from 5 minutes.
Because Wales got Tezos in his portfolio here, so he's like, okay, you got to get them the nearest price here, like the most up to date action.
I've taken a beating in this portion every single week since we started.
So, who do you guys? How do you want me to do this week? Do you want?
Go ahead and give me the news.
Who's in last? Who's in last?
One?
In last place.
Oh no.
With 2.73 BTC, an unfamiliar name, I might add.
Oh,
Dale. Boo.
Oh, I got nervous. There. I was like, what happened? I had to log on to my TraderView. I had to see, okay, what are my tokens doing? And then I was like, they don't deserve this kind of intro. But I was nervous.
yeah, I thought I was about to be bamboozled again. I was still
Like last time we did that?
Yeah, you got me all excited.
Holy crap! Tezos up 22%.
Tezos is flying. Okay, second place. Drum roll, please.
All right.
He had with the balance of 2.92 BTC, Princey.
2.92.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm below break even. God,
I'm back.
no.
FTT is
The tides have turned.
FTT
Wow.
is your best at 1.15 BTC, and Leo is your worst.
What's Whale at? And is it possible to get like his 24-hour change in his portfolio? Because I'm very curious.
Yeah, his 24-hour change. He's at the time of the 5 minutes ago when I updated this. It's the standings have actually changed right now. But at the time of doing this, Whale had 2.96 BTC with Tezos at 1.27 as his leader. And he was up 0.27 BTC in the last 24 hours or 10.37%. So,
you know what? I could take this moment to be arrogant and not humble, but I've been on the other side, so I would
high route?
say I'm pleased.
At the end of the day, none of us are above break even right now. So
There's no room for bragging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all losers here.
Fair point. Yeah.
Altcoins are shit coins. No way around it. So that's what well shit guys, we've only got like 2 months left of this. Not even.
You know, somebody, I think it was Downtown Josh Brown made a tweet. He's like, you only got 38 days left until new decade starts. What have you done with your past decade? And that was like, wow, okay, sometimes I feel like I'm just a waste of skin, but hey, it's been a pretty decent decade. Like, did a lot. Graduated high school, graduated some college, dropped out of some college.
Graduated and dropped out.
Yeah, went to a few different colleges. Yeah, it's been an interesting decade. Kind of have had my heart broken, never mended, still heartbroken.
Bitch.
I am forever.
Keep it nice and cold.
Forever a damaged soul.
The best.
And what else? Well, and then I found crypto too. That was crazy part. And there was that whole 17 run. So yeah, the whole past decade, been pretty crazy to reflect on in some ways. Let's hope the next one is going to be even better.
So the too long didn't read last decade for me is get married, have a kid, buy a house, get into crypto, and that's sold my house, moving back. Well, I might not end up moving back in with my mom yet, but
Doing a whole circle of life. Yeah,
whole circle of
circles.
the world
That's a lot of
go round.
changes. That's some
Yeah.
big stuff.
But yeah, like you started a whole you started a family this past decade.
Yeah, you introduce new
Yeah.
new people into the world.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That's big.
Cool.
Wild. What about you, Will?
Probably similar to old Prince. A little bit later, but same sort of deal. College, job, this crazy wild ride we've been on the past few years. Yeah, a lot has changed. Like if I just kind of take like a snapshot look, if I go back like 10 exactly, feels like a different life.
It's crazy, right?
In a good way, I would say. Yeah.
It's crazy to look back that far because it feels so long ago. But I don't know. The concept of time. You want to go on a mind bender, just start thinking about time. This is, here, crazy Prince going on a tangent here. Time. Try to actually understand time. Like that is just the craziest shit right there, right? How do you wrap your head around time? What makes up time? Crazy. I don't know.
What?
Things I think about. Things I think about. No. Time is something we can't even really understand. We think time is linear, right? But I don't think time is linear. I don't know.
I want to know. I think that I put money on the Atlanta Hawks, and they're shit the bed.
What does this have to do with time?
What's this got to do with time, Dale?
There's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
You
and I'm
wish that he
looking
could go
at the
back in
score,
time.
And I'm thinking,
Yeah, that's what it is.
how in the fuck are these idiots down 23 to the goddamn Chicago Bulls?
Did Trae Young get hurt again? Because their offense completely shut down when he got hurt the other game.
No, he's back. I checked it out.
Oh, he's
I
had a
don't know
shitty game though. He's
I don't
1
know
for
if he
3
left.
points.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, like, have you guys ever seen the show Castle Rock?
Mm-hmm.
No.
The new season is coming out right now. So, like, and I've been watching it, and just tremendous. I swear, like Castle Rock, people don't give it the credit it deserves, but it might be, after even just one season, one of the best shows I've seen.
What's it about?
Oh, okay. Well, the first season is pretty wild. Like, you got some stuff about other dimensions. This is where it's like, I got this whole thing in my head. It's like, what the hell is time? How do we understand time? Like, how do we really, grasp this whole thing, right? And so then I start watching, I like crushed the first season. And, because this has been something I've been thinking about. And sure as shit, I'm watching a show now that is like, oh, yeah, like, how do you really understand time? And, hey, there might be more dimensions to our world. And I'm like, okay, well, this is good. Like, as something I've just been really thinking about a lot lately. But holy crap, like, wicked show.
Is it on Netflix?
I think it's a Hulu show. Yeah, I think it's Hulu. I don't think it's on Netflix, but it might be. I don't think it is though.
Okay.
But
Sounds interesting.
it's like, yeah, it's based on some
Might keep it.
Stephen King stuff.
Oh,
some
cool.
Books. Yeah, wicked, worth the watch.
How does one even get the mind of Stephen King?
I was talking about
Right?
that with homie the other day, and I literally said, like, people really give him a lot of praise, and he deserves it because he's got some unbelievable work. But you think about the mind of that guy. You go into like his mental headspace to be able to think on those levels. Dude's got to be pretty dark up there. He's got to be pretty dark.
Doesn't he claim he has a few books that he doesn't even remember writing because he was on so much cocaine?
Well, and they were kind of like the stories about how like The Shining was really like a reflection on him, and like that, like that's how he was treating his kids and shit, like just wasted, Yeah, so I don't know. You got to think like that dude's got some skeletons in the closet, and yeah, to be able to put out that kind of stuff.
He's probably been walking like a tightrope with sanity for like quite some time, but he's somehow staying on the right side of it, just barely.
Yeah, you got to yeah, absolutely.
It's just insane.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. Stay safe out there. Tip your waitress. Get out with the boys. Have some hootskis, man.
Especially now. Good times ahead. Start spending the money already.
Yeah. Do some cash advances on.
I would never do that though.
That's a terrible idea. Don't listen to us on that. But thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate it. Remember to, if you like what you're listening to, like But subscribe and toss us 5 stars if you would.
If you want, yeah, if you want.
Which you know you do.
You have to, or you're not allowed to listen anymore.
Yep. Remember
All right.
to pay your subscription. Peace out, guys. We'll see you later.